Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So I just picked up an amazing collection of 90s toys. 99% of them are sealed for my good friend Joe and his dad Gary. So out of respect, I didn't want to film in their house, so here's everything behind me, which I'll go over in more depth later in the video. But here's one of the awesome pieces from this. Here we have a sealed Sentinel from Toy Biz, if I'm not mistaken, from the 90s. One of the toys I remember wanting, but no, here it is. But this is definitely going to be going into either a show or online. But just a little sneak peek into what we're going to get into here on this video. So I hope you enjoy it, and by all means, I hope you like the video. 6 full totes and 2 boxes are what I ended up in this awesome 90s toy collection. I have the first few set up behind me, so let's take a look at everything that I picked up in this collection. Okay everyone, so here we have the first set of figures from the first tote, which honestly has the most figures that have the most wear and tear on either the bubble or the card. These were the ones I believed were worthy of showing off. So starting off, we have an X-Men Wolverine figure. I think I remember this from the Phoenix cartoon series. Remember this guy definitely from the old X-Men series, Gladiator. Don't remember this one, Spiral. But these figures had the more impressive bubbles, and the card is not too messed up. This one has a little damage on the edge there. Got Mojo. Card's a little bent up there. Little wear down there. Got a nice Storm here. A little bit dinged up right there. And this was pretty neat. A Superman Doomsday 2-pack. Cable. Gonna come back to this one. And back here we have Corsair. But here we have one of the first Aliens figures from the Marine series. I remember this particular toy line fondly. These are going to be hard to get rid of. Okay everyone, so here are the figures from the first tote, which packaging is pretty much shot, but the figures are salvageable. We got, I think this is Bonebreaker, Slayback, that's Kulong. I'm not familiar with this particular X-Men. Grizzly, Forearm, no damage right there. Now these are pretty sad because these are probably more sought out figures. The bubble is busted on this Lizard from the Spider-Man animated series. And I want to say this is Maverick. This card's pretty shot. Spider-Man. And fortunately this Transforming Morbius has a bad card right there. But y'all let me know back in the comments if you think this one is salvageable for this card. It's just torn up right there. But anyway, on to the next tote. Okay, so here we go, starting with the next tote. We're going to start over here with the X-Men X-Force line. We have Pyro, Black Tom, and a guy named Comcast. Believe it or not, this one's bubble's a little messed up. And we have 2 of him. Now from the Uncanny X-Men X-Force line, got Warpath. Got a version of Cable. And the classic Cable with a pretty questionable card here, unfortunately. Sunspot. and Extreme. Never heard of this guy before. Now go into some more familiar names from the Evil Mutants Uncanny X-Men. We have Magneto. Pretty decent card. Nice looking bubble. Sabretooth. This is Ahab. I'm not sure how to pronounce that one. Warstar. I think I remember him from the cartoon. Silver Samurai. And unfortunately, the Juggernaut's card is a little beat up. You can see right here. Got some folds to it. Bubble looks okay, though. Iceman. Got several different variants of Wolverine. Here we have Street Clothes. I like this one right here. Robot Wolverine. That's pretty cool. Here we have a Rogue with a yellowish bubble. Bent up card on top. Random. Interesting. Don't remember him. One of my favorite characters from the cartoon, Morph. His card's a little dinged up. You can see it from here. I don't remember ever seeing a Morph. I like how it comes with a few of the heads. Another awesome Wolverine. I think this is the Weapon X costume. And Banshee. Card's a little dinged up on top and here, but the bubble looks okay. Okay, here we have the figures which round out the second tote from the X-Men 2029 line. Mean Street, Havoc, and Eric the Red. I've noticed in several of these figures they have a trading card in there that is loose behind the figure. This one is still attached. We got Richter, Trevor, Sinyaka is how you say that. Quark. Interesting. And everybody knows Scattershot now because of the Deadpool movie. Brood. Got Strong Guy, but his bubble's pretty cracked down here, so I might just take him out of there. Let me know what y'all think if I should go ahead and just take this figure out of there. The bubble's barely holding on, I think. On X-Force we have Domino. And Commando. And we got Cha-Ode. Not sure how to pronounce that. C-H-O-D. I don't know what this little creature is right here. Look at a cat. The bigger figures, these bubbles are pretty bent up. Here we have two Charles Xaviers. This one has a little bit different suit than the other one. It's not as fully blue. Interesting. And last but not least, we got Powerlifting Colossus. That's pretty neat. It's a little bent up there in the corner. But pretty nice. It's all still on there. Okay, everyone. So here we have all the toys from the third tote. Got a few more toy lines to go over. And before I go any further, if anybody sees any toys that they know on card would be a little bit more valuable than all the other ones, I'd really appreciate it down in the comments letting me know. especially in the X-Men lines. I know the more famous names like Charles Xavier, Cyclops, Wolverine are going to command a little bit more than everybody else on the line. So if anybody sees any other characters that are a little bit more rare, let me know. So starting out here in the Spider-Man line, we have Mysterio with Miss Squirting Action, Vulture, and one of my favorites, Scorpion. Uncanny X-Men line, we got Mr. Sinister. Pretty decent bubble and card. Here we have Cyclops. I think this is the glowing laser light one. My brother used to have this one. You got Executioner. Longshot. Apocalypse himself. Little dinged up card there, but other than that, pretty decent. I like how a lot of these have the Toys R Us price tag still on them. And Kane, one of those figures that I really don't know much about. Now, interestingly enough, we have one mask figure. We got Quick Draw Mask, which is from my favorite scene in the movie, actually, where the mask pulls out these two huge weapons to intimidate the bad guys. Pretty amazing part of the movie, in my opinion. But nice figure. The bubble is a little dusty. Card's a little bent. But all in all, nice. Not too bad. And here's an interesting figure from the X-Men line. The Projector. Definitely remember my brother having this one. These little discs here, you put into the chest piece, and a light would shoot up against the wall, showing a picture from the cartoon. Nice little effect. You can get all of it at Walmart for the low price of $6.96. And here we have a very interesting toy line I remember. The Terminator 2 line. Got Battle Damage Terminator. Alright shape. This one I remember. Yeah, my brother had this one. The card's a little beat up. But this one, his torso would twist and do like a punching action. That's why it's a Techno Punch. The Blaster T1000. Pretty big bend there in the card. But that's alright. Now, the Terminator 2 Future War line. Hot Blast. Terminator with Bazooka Sprayer. Okay, very interesting. Don't know the value of these. Chromium. Yeah, I remember this one too. Used to stretch out or something. Got two of them. Decent shape with cards. And the last one, didn't want to stand up. Rapid Repair Terminator. That was a little orange. I don't want to say the head's supposed to come off. Can't really tell. Okay, moving on. Here we have the fourth tote. We'll start over here. From Galoob, we have Men in Black's Jeebs, which I believe was the alien portrayed by Tony Shalhoub. Great actor. And man, I hadn't quite seen many of the Men in Black line. I remember the first two movies and like a cartoon, and then two more movies, I think. But this is the first time I'd seen any kind of playset from the Men in Black line. Pretty neat. And we got one McFarlane Spawn. Got Pilot Spawn here. Pretty decent. Think about the McFarlane figures. They were big toys on little cards. You see the bubble there compared to the card itself. It's probably still attached. Now here we have some pretty nice cards on these Legends of Batman. Flight Pack Batman. And behind the Kmart price tag, Desert Knight Batman. Unfortunately, this card, Wolverine, has seen better days. But the figure, of course, hasn't been touched. And from Batman and Robin, we have the Poison Ivy figure. A few more X-Men X-Force. Cannonball. Trevor Fitzroy. Don't know that one. I think we had another one of this one, Sinyaka. And another Iceman, Iceman 2. And I remember these little die-cast Steel Mutants from Toys R Us. This one was pretty neat. This is apparently a KB Toy Stores exclusive. We have this double, triple pack with the Trevor Fitzroy Maverick and a little Wolverine in the middle. Pretty cool. And here we have a stack of Batman Forever. We got Two-Face, Robin, one of the many Batmans, I'm sure, Night Hunter Batman, Manta Ray Batman, aha, the Riddler, looks so much like Jim Carrey, yeah. And Sonar Sensor Batman. Okay, when rounding out the fourth tote, I found these, and they are such a nostalgia shock. I can't put into words being a kid in the early 90s, and by that time there were 2 Aliens movies and 2 Predators movies, and the desire to have them in toy version was very, very, very on top of my list. And when this line came out of Aliens and Predators, I was totally enthralled and had to get all of them. So I had most of the Aliens lines. I only actually had only one of these Predators right here, and that was this one, the cracked tusk one. Probably one of my first ones I remember getting. I remember my brother had this one, spiked tail Predator that drew the little discs over here. We never had any of the other ones. This glow-in-the-dark Stalker. I had a different paint of this one, which I think this was the second release. And the Lava Planet one, as you can tell, is just a repainted cracked tusk. So I'm going to turn this one around real quick, because I haven't seen this card in a very long time. But there is the Marine line, the Alien vs. Predator line. I think these are the first 2. Yeah, that's the other one. Scavenge. That's the one I had. Ended up buying this 2-pack as well, but I'll come back to this Predator in a second. I had all these Aliens. Didn't really care much for the vehicles, but if you were a big fan of this line in the early 90s, you might remember this little promotion down here, the limited edition Predator action figure. When you buy any 3 Aliens or Predators toys, I distinctly remember sending that in and getting that translucent Predator figure, which was meant to be invisible, and his chrome claws. And he was actually a clear version of, I think, this Predator. Remember down in the comments getting that figure, let me know, because that is something I haven't thought about in a very, very long time. But yeah, these are the highlight of the collection so far, and they're going to be the toughest to let go of. But they definitely bring back quite a nostalgia. One of my favorite lines. Okay, everyone. Tote 5 has some interesting surprises in it. So starting over here from 1989, we got a few DC Comics superheroes. Here we have Lex Luthor. The car looks alright from the front. It's got a few bends here, but on the back it doesn't look too good. It's interesting. It's supposed to be a power punch Lex Luthor, but kind of like he's crying. And here we have Mr. Freeze from the same line. A little bit of damage to the card right there. The back looks alright. Fantastic Four line, Mole Man. This is pretty neat. Exploding grapple hook Daredevil. Pretty cool. I like the costume. Toys R Us. The Shadow. Ambush Shadow. Don't really remember this line all that well. I remember the movie. Don't remember the line too much. Kenner. This one's pretty neat. We have from, I think it was pretty sure it's Hasbro. Yeah, Hasbro. We have one of the Mortal Kombat lines on the same scale as the G.I. Joes back then. Raiden. From Walmart. Now, I hadn't seen this particular figure in a very, very long time, but reminiscent of the first Batman movie from the late 80s. Got the Jack Nicholson Joker. Sky Escape Joker. The card is starting to peel up right here. And it's got a big crease across the top, but not too bad. From the same Batman series, because we have Michael Keaton's Batman right there. Wall Scaler Batman. And this is a line I had never seen before from the Mission Impossible movie. Ethan Hunt. With a camouflage face, it looks like. That one's interesting. I haven't seen that line. Batman Animated Series. We have Skydive Batman. I don't remember this one, but it comes with a parachute in there. Next to the Toys R Us price tag. Another Legends of Batman. Got Longbow Batman. More Batman Forever. Transforming Bruce Wayne. I want to say in the Batman Forever movie, Val Kilmer was Bruce Wayne. That's Val Kilmer. Blast Cape Batman. That's looking art from this figure. And the Deluxe Attack Winged Batman. Of course, in the early 90s, we have a Power Ranger from the movie. But this box is pretty beat up, though. The plastic is already falling off here. So you can tell the figure's right there. But I remember going to see this. I think the only difference between these figures and the original release was these were like shiny chrome. They made a movie edition ones. And some more Spider-Man. Spectacular Spider-Man Techno Wars. Anti-Symbiote. That's pretty interesting. Don't remember this line. Ultimate Octopus. And a few from animated series. spear throwing action Kraven. Pretty neat. All the way from Kmart. And this huge Hydro Man. Pretty big bubble on this, so it didn't last too long. Actually has a cut. You can reach in there. So that one might be coming out of there. Okay, so here we have the 6th and final tote. We're going to start off with this. From KB Toy Stores, we have the Zap Power Force, the ultimate police force of the future. Each one of these very posable figures came with a unique weapon and a carrying case. Here we have Biotron. I remember this line because my brother had all these. Interesting figure line. Here you can see the weapon and the carrying case. They're pretty nice figures. A good example of these still in box, which unfortunately this one is a smush, will go anywhere from $50 to $60. Next up, what 90s toy collection wouldn't be complete without the cinematic Waterworld line? I don't believe this is the Kevin Costner character. We have the Atoll Enforcer. Yeah, I think this was his character's name, Powerbow Mariner. And it looks like a little vehicle. Wave Ripper. Interesting. We got another Todd McFarlane toy. This one's not quite a Spawn figure. I believe this is from the Youngblood comic book line. Again, this one's bubble did not really hold on to the card too well because the figure is pretty heavy, but it's more or less all there. Now, here we have a pretty nice X-Men figure. Everybody's favorite, Gambit. Pretty decent card. Got a little crease there. And here we have from the late 80s, the New Adventures of He-Man. Unfortunately, not He-Man or Skeletor, or that would be a pretty good find. We have Flipshot. Card's a little separating there, and it's got a big crease in it, but there's that line right there. Couple of Iron Man, Hydro Armor, and Gray Gargoyle. RoboCop, the line I haven't seen in too long, from Toys R Us. I remember these figures had a cap feature, which I'm not sure if this one does. It doesn't look like it comes with any caps. And this looks like the RoboCop from the third movie. And here, a sealed Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. The Yellow Ranger. Another die-cast figure, the Action Masters Terminator 2 T-1000. Here's a pretty neat figure. Thanos, old school Fantastic Four line. I don't believe I ever saw the Marvel Action Hour. I'm not sure what that is. Another Terminator 2 Power Arm. Terminator? I think we had this one. I can't remember. And last, we have the Vault Guardsman from the Spectacular Spider-Man Techno Wars line. Okay, there you have it, guys. There's everything from the totes. Now moving on to the two boxes. Okay, everyone. So rounding out the collection, we had the box full of the vehicles and other play sets in this collection. We're going to start out here with the X-Men Wolverine Mutant Cycle. Still in the box, but the box is in pretty rough shape. All the seals are gone. That one's still kind of holding on there. We have the Magneto Magnetron car. Now I think, yeah, this one's seals are all broken, but the vehicle's still in there. And a few 10-inch figures. Here we have Gambit. Pretty impressive in the coat. A little bit of comic book cells in this corner of the box there. Now in a little bit of rougher shape, we have the Silver Surfer. This surfboard in there. This one's box is a little more beat up. Up here we have the Shadow Serpent bike. Okay. I think the second thing from the Shadow line that we had in the whole collection. I'll save this one. I'm going to go on to the Magnetic Mutants Deluxe Edition Sabretooth. This looks pretty good in the box. Up here is where it's the roughest. Not sealed. But there you have all the other ones, like a chrome edition. And here we have the final three pieces. We have the Bat Signal Jet. This one is still pretty sealed. Yep. Not too bad a shape. And sealed in the box, we have the Batman Animated Series Batplane. I'm not sure how different it is from the one from the movie. But pretty nice. And last but not least, the all-impressive Sentinel, you saw at the beginning of the video. A few price tags there. Top seal there. Really impressive box art. And I think for a Robo playset, it does a lot. My brother had the Blackbird jet. But all in all, probably one of the best looking pieces in the whole collection. But there you have it, everybody. That is everything that made up this impressive collection. I can go ahead and tell you that I originally offered money just for the figures that looked good in their packaging, but for a little bit more I got the entire collection, paying only a couple dollars per item. So it was an amazing deal, and I want to say thanks out again to Mr. Gary for letting me pick it up and be the custodian of these things. And I'll see if we can find them some new good homes. Okay, everyone, last but not least, the last box made up a little side deal that my friend Joe and I put together before I headed out the door. And he just basically pulled out a few things from his own personal collection and wanted to know if I was up for buying, and I definitely was. So first up, we have this Captain America gumball dispenser. Still works. Just needs the gumballs. I have 3 Super NES games. We have Dungeons and Dragons Eye of the Beholder with its manual. Dino City, which surprisingly is based on a pretty crazy live action movie I remember watching on Disney Channel. If you're interested in checking it out, it was called Adventures in Dino City. So check that out. And here we have Super Alfred Chicken and the manual for the Troy Aikman football for NES. A few little figures here. I just thought they were pretty neat. I'll throw them in the deal. Little space aliens and other little creatures here. They take me back to putting things into quarters, machines and getting little guys like this. And a few little Power Ranger figures. We have a little Dragon Zord. But the biggest draw was this. It was his personal Dragon Zord. It is more or less complete in the box, even though the box is pretty beat up. Only missing one piece, and that is the stand right there. But a lot of interesting significance with this. The Dragon Zord was the first Zord I had from the Power Rangers line. I distinctly remember going to Toys R Us before it opened in my small town and picking this up. And shout out to my best friend's dad who helped me secure the purchase, because I did not have, it's still on here, you can see that the $29.99 needed to pick this thing up back then. I think I had like $25 if I remember correctly. It was so long ago. But yeah, my Dragon Zord has since fallen apart and I've lost all the pieces, so picking up a little replacement was well worth it. So there you have it, guys. Everything I picked up in the collection, plus the little bonus deal here. Thanks again to my buddies Joe and Gary for the opportunity to pick this collection up, and I hope everybody enjoyed the footage. If you feel so inclined, please like and comment down below. I'd like to hear what you think about the collection, what I picked up, if it holds any special significance for your own childhood. But until next time, thanks for watching.